I met Thelonious Monk. Yeah, I was introduced to him in one of my concerts by my manager, who was also setting up that concert. So Monk, he looked into my eyes, and I've never had anybody look at me like that, you know? He saw so much, it was unbelievable. So he asked me after the concert, he said, could I come with him and Nellie? That was his wife, right? And he wanted to go out. And he said, but first he wanted to know about European music. And the first question he asked me was, who is copying me over there? Who's copying me, right? And I thought, well, you see, I know all the copycats, but I don't think too much of them. I think in jazz you're supposed to be original, right? Come up with your own voice. But no, this was his aspect. He said, the more people that copy me, the more fans I'll have. Yeah.
Hello, folks. Welcome to New York Jazz Stories. Here we are again at the beginning of the show. It's kind of like Groundhog Day a little bit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the stage Bernard Purdie and David Haney.
You know, this time let's go right to the show. Let's forget going out to Brooklyn. All right? Maybe a quick road trip, but that's it.
I joined ICP in 1982, and one of the first things we did was go to Japan. The other saxophone players in the group at the time were Peter Broltzmann and Keshavan Maslik. I realized a lot of things about Nyjs real quick. I realized that he likes to create tension however possible. That could be through musical means or social means or theatrical means. He likes to put people together that don't necessarily like each other, for instance. I learned a certain aesthetic, and it's kind of a rigorous aesthetic, although at the same time anything can happen. So it's very, very open and very free. It's not, what we do here is not dogmatic in any way.
So
it's actually...
The writers in Downbeat, you know, they used to criticize him a lot because he'd get up from the piano and he'd dance around. He'd let other people play, you know, and... but what he was doing, you know, I saw him in that concert, and Frankie Dunlop was the drummer. Frankie Dunlop. Now, Frankie is a drummer, but he was a real dancer. Yeah, he was a dancer, and and Monk, he was quite voluminous at the time. You know, he was like a big bear. So when he'd get up and he would come and he would dance, and what he was doing is he was moving, and his movements were being interpreted by the band, right? Yeah, that's what Monk was doing when he was dancing. He was responding to the band.
So it's actually interesting to because we still play as a group, then to test this material, what is really like, well, this is a bit outdated, or it's not outdated, or the ideas or the approach of the music. That would be especially about the founders, Misha and Ham, because they are, in the 60s, they had their thing, I suppose. I'm listening to old stuff, what they did in the Michel Mengelberg Quartet with the late Piet Noordijk as an alto player. Man, that's incredible. You really hear they're like on the brink of changing or putting different stuff in, put the out stuff in. But it is like also a very traditional 50s style quartet. Very inspiring, very good playing of Misha, very sharp, very fresh and new ideas. For me, very inspiring to hear. Also the whole approach. And then Misha writes his own pieces, totally different pieces. European flavor pieces maybe, kind of marches or waltzes or cozy radio tunes. Well, and there's actually, I must admit, with great pleasure and without any reluctance, he writes beautiful music and a beautiful arrangement.
I played the piano from, I think I started in 38. Then I was 3 years old. And through my childhood, I was improvising on the piano then. I did not like very much to get lessons.
Michael Schaap was a great teacher that I had in college. He was an authentic disciple of Rodin, the sculptor, Rodin. He taught some crazy ideas that you couldn't get anywhere else about space, time, and line drawing, how it's all connected, right? Okay, so, another thing that he talked about was holding things in privation. You don't want to lay everything out there, you keep it back, okay? The comparison is a ball. You take a ball and hold it in the air, right? That's potential energy. Potential energy is privation. That's all it is. And that's why a painting is more than just paint and a canvas, yeah? And that's my story from Lauren Connors.
I started with lessons when we were already living in Amsterdam. And I did not like the idea of to play pieces from other composers. I was only interested in improvisation. And that stopped somewhere when I was 15 years later going to lessons, piano lessons, because it was I told people, piano was my first thing to be interested in. And then
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It looks like we're about halfway through the show. It seems to be going pretty well, as far as I can tell.
I played piano and
Let's get back to the ending of that piece about Misha.
need that I had for my improvisations in 42 and 3. All that was more or less a little bit forgotten. Also, my piano playing, I played pieces that I had to play. That piece from Bach you should now play for us. You have had a choice to play the piano, so play the piano. And then I had only interest in playing jazz music. So I didn't play Bach or Mozart or whatever, what composer. I played Mengelberg plays the piano. Well, that's more or less what I still do, playing the piano.